All right, everybody, we are back working on day 24 of this week's packet. And yes, I'm still in my same sweatshirt because I did all the videos on the same day just to get them done. So anyways, pretend like it is a new day. We are on Tuesday, March the 21st, day 24 of NTI. And today you all are working on solving word problems, okay? We've had several worksheets like this in the past, not only in class, but during NTI. And just to make it a little bit easier on you guys, because I know everybody's starting to get frustrated and, you know, it's tough to get all this stuff done. I have given you all an answer key for these at the top, so hopefully that helps. I'm also going to go through these with you on this video so that you have it and you can watch it back whenever you get the time. And you can use it to lead you through the problem step by step, or if you want to do them on your own and then go back and check your answers, you can. So anyways, we'll start with number one. Number one says, Robin had 17 math problems for homework. If she finished 8 of them on the bus ride home, how many more did she have to do? All right, so we are looking at these word problems, and we got to break it down. I use the cube method when I'm dealing with math word problems. All right, cube, C in it stands for circling important numbers. Okay, so in cube, the letter C, I'm going to circle important numbers and values. All right, so when I read that problem, it said Robin had 17 math problems for homework. That sounds pretty important. I'm going to start with that. I circled 17 math problems, okay, not just the number 17, because I need to know what they are. So 17 math problems. She finished 8 on the bus ride. So I'm going to write circled finished 8. The U in cube stands for underlining the question. All right, so I'm going to underline the question. So however I find the question in a word problem is I want to look for that question mark, usually at the end, and then I'm going to go backwards until I get to a question word like who, what, when, where, how. So I started at my question mark and I go backwards to where it says how many more did she have to do, and I underlined that as my question. So I know she had 17 to begin with. She finished 8, and I want to know how many more does she have to do. The B in the cube method stands for boxing action words. All right, so action words in math are things that tell us if we're going to multiply, add, subtract, or divide. It tells us what operation to use. All right, so I'm going to box any kind of action words. So looking through that problem, Robin had 17 math problems for homework. If she finished 8 of them, how many more does she have to do? So whenever I see how many more, usually what that means in a word problem is that I had some got taken away, and now we want to know what's left. All right, so in this case, I think that would fit because Robin had 17 math problems. If she finished 8 of them, that's 8 taken away. She doesn't have to do anymore. So I got to figure out how much more is left. So in this case, I am subtracting. The problem that I would need to solve, this is the E part of our cube method. All right, E stands for evaluate. All right, evaluate is just another word for solve. So I circled important numbers and values. I underlined my question. I boxed the action word that let me know what operation I would be using. And now I'm going to evaluate or solve. So I know I need to do 17 minus 8. Again, if subtraction is not exactly your strongest point, you can always use the inverse operation, which is addition. And count up, add on. So I'm going to start at 8, and I'm going to count up to 17. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That is 9. So, looking up here in my answer choice box, I do have a 9. So I'm going to cross that out and put 9 as my answer on number 1. It is important, guys, that you all are showing your work on these. All right. I've had a lot of papers get turned in with just answers written down. And you all know in class, I ask for your work to be shown so it's the same on NTI. Okay. Another thing, put your name on your paper. I've had lots of papers turned in with no names, and then I don't know who to give the grade to. So, put your name on the paper. Same rules in class apply at home. All right, number 2. Carol needs to buy 16 apples for apple bobbing. If each bag contains 4 apples, how many bags will she need? So, I'm going to use my cube method again. I'm going to go through and circle important numbers and values. So 16 apples is what she needs. Each bag has 4 apples in it. All right. Underlining the question. Find that question mark. Go backwards until you see a who, what, when, where, why, how. In this case, the question is how many bags will she need? All right. Now I need to go through and box those action words. So the word each. Okay, if each bag contains 4 apples, that means usually that I'm going to have to multiply. All right, so you can multiply or divide in this case. I'll show you both ways. But first, I'm going to just draw out bags of apples. So, and put 4 in each one. Y'all hear my dogs freaking out. There's a lady that walks around the neighborhood with this little poodle, and I have really big dogs, and they don't like it, so they bark. Okay, so I drew 4 circles, and inside of those 4 circles, I did 4 little dots to represent my apples. So right now, I have 4 bags with 4 apples each, okay, and I can add those up. 4, 8, 12, 16. So if I know my multiplication facts, 4 times 4 equals 16, or 16 divided by 4 is 4, then I could have answered that problem without drawing the picture. But this problem's equation, I could write 16 divided by 4 equals 4, because I'm wanting to see how many times does 4 go into 16. Looking up at my answer choices, 4 is an answer, so I'm going to mark it out and put it in my answer column. Okay? Number 3. Tom bought 4 boxes of candy. Later, he bought 2 more boxes. How many boxes did he have in total? Let's use the cube method. So C, circle any important numbers and values. I circled 4 boxes and 2 more boxes. U, underline our question. Find your question mark and go backwards until you find a who, what, when, where, why, or how question word. How many boxes did he have total is what I'm looking at. So now B, I need to box some action words. So I know I had 4, but then I bought 2 more. More usually tells me that I'm adding on. Also, an action word that I could put here is total. All right, whenever I say how many did I have in total, usually I'm looking for addition. So I know I'm going to take my 4 boxes that I had before, add 2 more, and now I have 6 boxes of candy. Okay, looking at my answer bank, 6 is a choice, so I'm crossing it out and putting it in there. Okay, next problem. I'm going back in here and putting in my units. So like instead of just saying 9, I have 9 problems. Instead of saying 6, I have 6 boxes of candy and 4 bags of apples. Okay. So number 4, for a potluck lunch, Katie brought 6 bottles of soda. If everyone only drank 2 of the sodas, how many did she have to take back home? So again, looking for those important numbers, Katie brought 6 bottles. So I'm circling that. If everyone only drank 2, so I'm circling that they drank 2 of the sodas. Now I need to underline my question. So I find my question mark, go backwards to that question word. How many did she have to take back home? Now I'm boxing action words, letting me know what I'm going to do. Am I adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing? So if Katie brought 2 bottles of soda and people drank 2, okay, when you drink a soda, it's gone, right? So it's like we're taking it away. Also, it says how many does she have to take back? So that taking back home, it's essentially asking how many are left over. So leftovers and taking away means that I'm subtracting. So 6 minus 2 equals 4 bottles. So she had to take back home, and 4 is an answer choice. So I put that on there. Okay, number 5. Victor played 8 games of basketball with his friends. If Victor scored 2 points each game, how many points did he score in total? So circling those important numbers, he played 8 games of basketball. He scored 2 points each game. I need to underline my question here. So I find the question mark and go backwards to how many points did he score? Boxing my action words. So again, that word each, remember it can mean that we're going to multiply or divide. So we need to figure out what the case is here. And then we're looking for a total. All right. So thinking about in basketball, when I score points and I make baskets in basketball, I get more points, right? So it would only make sense that the number gets bigger. Well, when we divide, a number gets smaller. So multiplying would make that number bigger. So 8 times 2 would give us 16 points. And 16 is an answer choice. Okay. All right, next problem, number 6. While playing basketball, Team A scored 35 points. If each person scored 7 points, how many people were playing? So my first number that I see I'm circling is 35 points. And I'm also going to circle where it says each person scored 7 points. I'm circling 7 points. To underline my question, again, start at that question mark and go backwards. My question here says how many people were playing. So I don't want to know how many points they made or how many baskets they made. I want to know how many people were playing. So boxing those action words, again, each can mean to multiply or divide. So in this case, remember multiplying makes bigger numbers, dividing is smaller numbers. So if I have 35 points and each person scored 7, and I want to know how many people played, I'm trying to figure out how many times does 7 go into 35. You can use the inverse property, multiplication, because if you know that 5 times 7 is 35, 5 is your answer. Okay. If you don't know that, then you're looking at 35 divided by 7 equals 5. The way that I could do that, I've seen a lot of you all in class, you'll draw out like 35 dots. And then you group them into 7 groups of 7. So I'm going to try and do that quickly. 6, 7, 1, 2, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so it's tiny, but I have 35 dots here, and I'm going to circle groups of 7 dots. So I have one group here, 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 and here. Once I group them into groups of 7, I had 5 circles. So that means that 7 will go into 35 5 times. Alright, number 7. Oh, did I write that? No. So 5. In my answer choice box, crossed it off, wrote it in my answer column. Now we're good to go. It was 5 people. Number 7. A pet store had 4 cages of snakes with 9 snakes in each cage. How many snakes did the pet store have in all? All right, or in total. So circling those numbers, 4 cages, 9 snakes. The question is, how many snakes did the pet store have in total? The action word that I see here is each, which again can mean to multiply or divide. So if I'm thinking about 4 cages, and I'm just going to draw that. I like using pictures. So I drew 4 boxes there to represent my cages. And then it says each box has 9 snakes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just drawing 9 squiggles into each box. Y'all might want to use a separate sheet of paper so that you have more room if you are a picture person. But so anyways, I drew my 4 boxes with 9 little squiggle snakes in each one. If I go through and count up all of those snakes, then or if I know that 4 times 9 equals 36. So they would have 36 snakes. Okay, remember that fingers trick for your 9s. I'm going to go over that on another video later this week. Okay, so looking for 36, that is an answer choice. Cross it off and I put it down. Okay, number 8. Ned bought 17 books at the book fair. If he gave 8 of them to his brother, how many books did he have left? So I'm circling 17 books. He gave 8 to his brother. The question that I'm underlining is how many books did he have left? The action words here, very obvious. Left, your leftovers. Okay, gave means he's getting rid of. So when you get rid of something and then you have leftovers, you have subtracted that. So I'm doing 17 minus 8, which equals, we solved that one earlier and it was 9. So he has 9 books left. 9 is another answer choice on here, so I can cross it off and use it. Make sure that you're crossing those answers off in your box as you go, because the numbers, some of them are written in there more than once, but they're only written in there for the number of times that they should be used. So like once you're out of 9s, you can't have 9 as an answer anymore. Number 9. Edward was drawing superheroes on a sheet of scrap paper. He drew 4 heroes on the front and 8 heroes on the back. How many heroes did he draw in total? So I'm circling my important numbers. First is 4 heroes. Next is 8 heroes. Underlining my question, how many heroes did he draw total? And then my boxing action words would be, and is actually an action word that we can use because it lets me know I had some, then I had more. But the main one that I'm going to look at here is where it says total. Okay, again, when we're looking at total, a lot of times it means that we're adding something. And also, if you just think through these situations in your head, a lot of times you guys, think about it. If you have a piece of paper in class and you're drawing and you put 4 pictures of characters on the front, and you turn it over and you do 8 more, if you counted them all up, 8 plus 4 is 12. So he had 12 heroes. It's all word problems are, guys. It's like common real world things that if you just think about it, you can usually visualize the situation in your head and figure out what you should do. So 12 was an answer choice. I can cross that off and write it down. Okay, number 10, almost finished. The mailman delivered 11 pieces of mail to a house. If 8 of the pieces were junk mail, how many pieces were actually good? So I'm circling 11 pieces of mail and 8 pieces of junk mail. The question, how many pieces were actually good? So I know that when I go back through and box those action words, where it says how many were actually good. So again, there's not a word in here, in my opinion, that jumps out and says I'm adding or subtracting or multiplying. But if I think about that situation, okay, when I walk into my house after getting my mail out of the mailbox and I have a stack of 11 pieces, and I go through and 8 of those are just like newspaper ads or just people want me to sign up for credit cards and stuff that I throw away. So I had my stack of 11. I threw away 8 pieces of mail. Now what do I have left that's actually good mail? That might be letters or postcards or something that I want to look at, or an important bill I have to pay. So 11 minus 8 is what I'm looking at there, which is 3. So 3 pieces of mail. And 3 is an answer choice that I can use, so I'm crossing it off and writing it down. Okay, 2 more to go. Number 11, Oliver is helping to put away books. If he has 12 books to put away and each shelf can hold 2 books, how many shelves will he need? So I'm circling that he has 12 books and that each shelf holds 2 books. The question here that I'm underlining is how many shelves will he need? Okay, thinking about this situation again, if I have a box of 12 books and I have all these shelves and I can only fit 2 books per shelf, I'm going to draw this one out for you guys. Okay, so here's my shelves over here. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to put 2 books on each shelf. Alright, so I did 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 books, and that filled up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shelves. Okay, so what I was trying to do was figure out how many times 2 went into 12. Again, if you know those multiplication facts, 2 times 6 is 12, then you automatically know you need 6 shelves. But the equation that I'm going to write down is 12 divided by 2 equals 6. So he needs 6 shelves. And I'm crossing off a 6 out of my answer box and writing it down. Alright, last problem. And there's only one answer. What could it be? It says Adam has to sell 18 chocolate bars to get a prize. If each box contains 3 chocolate bars, how many boxes does he need to sell? So I'm circling 18 chocolate bars and 3 in each box. The question I'm trying to answer is how many boxes does he need to sell? The action word that's going to help me to figure out what operation I should use, that word each, again, means to multiply or divide. We need to use our common sense to figure out which one we should do. So dividing means that we're going to have a smaller number. Multiplying is a bigger number. So would it make sense to say that 18 times 3, which is like, you know, above 36. So does he need to sell 36 boxes of chocolate if all he has to sell is 18 bars? Probably not. So what we're going to look at instead is 18 divided by 3. How many times will 3 go into 18? And that is 6. So he needs to sell 6 boxes of chocolate. 6 is magically my last number that I have up here in my answer bank. I'm going to mark it off and write it down. Alright, that is it for today. That was a little bit of a longer video. I tried to talk fast so I could get it through for you guys rather quickly. But there you go. As always, text, call, email, let me know if you need anything. I'm more than happy to help with you guys. Hopefully this is easy enough on you. So, enjoy. Bye-bye.